Hello, hello, hello. This is our first remote podcast, and it's weird not seeing you two.
Yeah.
Wild. It's crazy.
I know. Ugh. How's it going? What you guys up to? This is day before flight.
I was
True.
so tired, man. This week has just been so much. I also just ate a fuck ton before coming here, so...
Dude, yes. What did you eat?
Yeah, you were at a dinner, right?
Yeah. So, as a thanks for my friends helping me move, we went and got Sandontang, which is like this place. It's a chain. They have a couple spots in Koreatown and outside of it. But their big thing, maybe, in post you can put a picture or something.
Mm-hmm.
But their whole thing is like they just make a fuck ton of like braised meat, and you add in like rice cakes and like cheese and stuff, and it's so good. I don't know how to explain it besides I'm fucking sleepy. So yeah.
That sounds really good, though.
It was a really good time. Yeah, they helped with the move. So yeah, no, it was really nice to finally pay them back for that service. So yeah, so that happened. Oh my gosh, the craziest thing happened when we were out there though. So I was sitting across from my partner and we were just chatting and our phones were on the table, and this guy just like in like a flash walks by the table and like swipes my partner's phone.
Yo, what?
What the fuck?
He grabs it and he's like speeding on the way out, and then and then my partner was like, "Hey, what?" And then I hadn't realized what had happened yet. So I thought, because like the guy walked right past where I was like sitting in that direction, and I thought I had done something wrong out of nowhere. So I was like, "Huh?" And the waitress like flagged the guy down and was like, "Hey, you can't fucking do that. Don't do that. Get out of here." And she made him like toss the phone back on the table, and then he left. But yeah, I guess like petty phone thieves. No idea. Crazy stuff.
That's
the guy totally could have just kept booking it with the phone. So.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're fine. We have our phones. No one.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, no one got hurt or anything, but yeah, it was quite a bit. Yeah, so that's what's been going on with me today. Outside of that, I've done jack shit. Finally, for the first time in like what felt like a really long time, I was like able to just sit down and like play some video games for the most of the day. So, holy moly, that felt good.
Nice.
Yeah, what have you guys been up to
though? Mostly, both of us have, but like mostly I was doing union stuff up until yesterday. I did a bunch of not street interviews, but like picket line interviews. That was a lot of fun. Cool. I basically forced JP to be my cameraman, and we started just, once we got into the rhythm of things, it was really easy. So just like machining out interview after interview.
That's really funny.
So I had a lot of editing to do.
Was it mostly physics people or not physics people?
No, actually, I interviewed JP just because that was like the guinea pig, but then I interviewed a professor from the political science / math department. This guy is really interesting, actually. He does game theory, but specifically game theory regarding like protest movements, and like he studies critical mass and like how many people does it take before the movement starts to snowball into like a bigger movement and all of these things. He was really cool. Then right after that, I interviewed an anthropology professor.
Cool.
She was also really cool. And then after that, it was ecology, and then computer science, and then
like
one
faculty,
more physicist.
Or those are students?
No, these were graduate students. So the last three were graduate students. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. Other than that, just picket line stuff and then media stuff was pretty fun.
Nice.
But that was up till yesterday, and then yesterday I went out with Nat. I got food at Uovo, and then today morning I drove out to my parents because they're gonna watch my dog while I'm in Texas and then Germany.
Yeah, you're gonna be out for so fucking long, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not happy, dude. I'm so upset about it. I've come full circle to the point where I'm like, I just don't want to fucking go anymore. They have my trap. They can do it how they want. They can figure it out.
So much
Yeah.
work has already been done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was tough getting it out the door. I don't know. I feel kind of similar. Like I don't want to leave for a whole month. But like I don't know. It should be a lot of fun when we're there, at least. So I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
There'll be a lot of
I
learning.
know there's, yeah, there'll be learning. There'll be stories. There'll be things we can do for sure.
Hmm.
It's just right now, on the eve of flight, I'm just like, oh fuck, I have to do
Yeah,
this.
yeah, absolutely. I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
not
predictions,
being- Oh yeah.
Mario Kart predictions, go.
Oh, I mean, like, I think. I think.
I feel like I'm the villain in this.
Well, the thing is, I think
I feel
I'm
like I'm-
pretty good at Mario Kart, but like I don't. I think I'm just. I don't know how to gauge this because I don't drink at all, so this will be tough. Someone has to be my drinking champion.
I think I'm your champion, aren't I?
Oh,
I think
good.
that's what was discussed.
So
Oh yeah, brother.
I'm bringing 4 controllers, 4 GameCube controllers,
Oh boy.
and then 1 Switch controller. So there'll be 5 total players. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be rounds of 4. That's I'm also bringing the adapter, the dock, and all that jazz. So it'll be pretty exciting.
Nice.
We can also do a drunk smash, which is always fun.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. So what are, I guess, DAMOP. What the hell are we doing?
Yeah, see, that's
Where's
something I want to understand because outside of the schedule of us, our poster time, we're kind of just like going and vibing and seeing all the things, right? Like I don't know, there's not really like a strict schedule. I mean, I don't know when the last event per day ends is, but I would expect something like 5 p.m. Right?
Yeah, I'd have to check the schedule, but yeah, usually there are like 2 sessions where there are like, basically like somewhere around 4 to 8 rooms available where different kind of talks happen. And some people usually play it by like, I want to go to this session during this time. And they'll just watch all the talks during that session. And then they'll go to the next session. But some people will like seek out individual talks that they want to see and kind of like try to plan their schedule, like hopping between sessions. So yeah, I think altogether there are like 4 or 5 sessions every day. And like there's a lot of like parallel sessions available. So there's a lot of like options. It's probably good to go through the schedule and see what you want to see and like make a plan on where you want to go and when.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, but I have no idea.
This sounds like Anime Expo for physicists.
That's so true. Yeah, I don't know, convention. We're at the Dallas Fort Worth Convention Center too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because my friend was telling me that like I think DreamHack just happened like the week before, so they're cleaning it out.
Oh fuck! Maybe we'll get some gamer subs in a corner.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, I don't know. So that'll be kind of interesting. Yeah, I guess like with all the like conference centers and stuff, there's something reminds me of like so I played in like as you two probably know, but the audience might not. I played in a Pokemon tournament last weekend, which was a bit crazy.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I procrastinated as hard as one possibly could when it comes to like any sort of tournament, not just one for Pokemon, but like if you're not aware, something that probably makes sense is that you have to like prepare your own team, which is like fine, okay, so you make your own team, but it's a very like time like super like time costly process. And I was still kind of like last minute deciding like what team I actually wanted to run at this event. So what I ended up doing was like, just checking out what what cool this format allows for, like, one legendary finally. And so I was like looking at like what cool legendary I wanted to run, and so I picked one that I did not personally own. And that is tough because then it's like, okay, well, how do I go about getting this thing like legally, right? And so Patrick here was able to lend me or trade me like the key legendary, like that's the centerpiece of the team. And then after I finally chose the team, I didn't realize until like much later, or like specifically the night before the tournament, that I was missing yet another like key piece that I couldn't have, like that I didn't have in my game. So I had to trade him another piece. So basically Patrick like supplied me with like 1/3 of my entire team I needed to like.
So what you're saying is Patrick is your Pokemon drug dealer?
Exactly.
He's like, you're like, oh, sorry, I know it's like the night of, but you got some of that good shit in stock.
Yeah, exactly.
And Patrick just opens up his trench coat.
That's right.
What are you buying?
That's right. He's got all the extra IVs in there. That's crazy. Yeah. So that was kind of nuts. But what ended up happening was basically like I decided maybe 3 days before the tournament. Like, okay, I'm gonna copy this guy's team, move some stats around. Fine, I would like get to it sometime. And then 9 p.m. the night before, I'm like, oh fuck, I still have not gotten to it. So I eventually did. I eventually did get to it, which is like nice and cool. But it just took very, very fucking long to like get to that point. Specifically, I was training up until like 4 a.m. To get everything ready, and so I ended up sleeping. At like 4, and then I had to leave at 6:30 to make it to LA Convention Center on time for like check-in and everything. But it was a good experience. I ended up like blowing out on like 1 and 3. For perspective, for you to make it to day 2 of the tournament on day 1, it's a Swiss round, and you have to do 7 and 2 or better in order to like make it out. So basically, it's fucking crazy. It's like absolutely nuts. Like you have to get out of there with an insane record, basically.
That's like some Magic the Gathering convention shit. Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, and like there's more speaks to like the absolute level of like insanity. I guess you have to kind of be to be able to like make it out there on day 2 and everything, and like. I don't know. I mean, overall, it was a really good time. I just, I think I played really well. I set myself up to win in like one of my losses, and I, luck of the draw, I ended up losing the game, and that's okay. Like, that's just something I kind of have to accept as a part of, like, like luck-based games sometimes, and that's okay. I'm pretty proud of how I played. I ended up getting knocked out by like a super famous player. I don't know if I can name drop him here, but playing against him was so utterly clear that this person was on a completely different level than me, and it was just very scary because I was like, I have no idea what the fuck just happened to me besides like I just got clapped. Like
you're just like out in the rain.
Yeah. I mean, like I was like, I'm like first game against him. They're all best of 3s. I'm like, okay, no need to like be crazy just because he's the famous player. Like, I'll just try not to overthink, and I'll like not over predict, and then I get like extremely punished, and I'm like, okay, you know what? That's all right. What if like next game I'll just like try a little predicting and like be a little like tricky and stuff like that, and I get absolutely smacked. Probably even harder, honestly. But like that's what I'm saying though. It's like this guy was on a totally different level, and I feel like I couldn't make the same sort of like quote unquote excuse or like I don't know, like vibe read as like the other game where I was like, oh, it was really close and I ended up losing because of like luck things. Like this was like so far from luck or whatever. Like this person was insanely like on a different level than me. It was not even that funny. So. But yeah, like overall, I had a really good time. I'm glad my friend like dragged me out to like go play and stuff. So, it was a really fun experience. I encourage people who like don't play games like competitive games in real life to like try it out sometime to do like a like in real life event. It doesn't have to be a big one like this. You can go to like a locals tournament if there's like a local scene and stuff like that. There's like there's quite a bit. So yeah.
Yeah, that's I will always encourage people to go locals because locals are so much fun. Like, I loved going to SoCal Smash locals way back in the day, but I actually really want to get back into that. I've just not practiced enough with Melee, but I do have a question though. Just because I am not at all familiar with competitive Pokemon.
Yeah.
What type of decisions does a pro player like that kind of do that you just don't have access to?
Right. Okay. So to make it as as
simple as possible.
Yeah. I was actually not going to make it as simple as possible. I was going in the numbers direction to make it as like numbers-y as possible, right?
Okay, that's probably fine too because I can quantify that better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a team you bring to the tournament is like 6 Pokemon, and before like this past generation, you did not get to know like what your opponent's team was unless you played them yourself, as in there was no other information you could glean besides like in game during like the battle, right? But now there's the new format is called open team sheets. Open team sheets means right as you like lock in to like fight your opponent, you trade your team sheet to your opponent, your opponent trades their team sheet to you, and like you get like a minute and a half to like read like what their team comp is, like what items they're holding, all of these things. You don't get to know their exact stat spread or anything crazy like that, but you do get like a good amount of information that like simply wasn't like allowed to be given in previous formats and things like that. So that's step one. And then once you like lock in with your team of like 6 to the tournament, also there's still more decision making to be done because per matchup you only get to bring, or per round you only get to bring 4. It's 4 out of 6. So you see your opponent's team, you choose 4 Pokemon just for the first battle, and then you're like, okay, I have to choose 2 to start, like open as your lead, and then 2 in the back. So it's a double battles format, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Okay, so you finally load into the game. Let's say you're finally choosing your moves, right? So some basics. Each Pokemon has like 4 moves. So per turn, right? That means each Pokemon has 4 moves, and you are playing doubles format. So that's 8 moves total. But also, in addition to like, oh, let me choose one of these 4 moves, you can also have the choice of like switching to a mon you have in the back. Okay, that's not too crazy, but like then both slots are allowed to also have this change to the back, so that's yet another option. And so the calculation is then like 4 moves per slot plus either switching in the back, so that's two more options. But the 2 options are like kind of sort of vague in the sense that it could potentially have been the other 2 you've left behind and not in this fight, right? So all of these are going through your head, and all you have to do really is pick the one. It sounds very easy, but it might be like, it sounds very obvious, but like it's basically the main skill that I'm getting to of like what I feel like a pro player is able to do that I'm still getting used to, which is like they're able to discern like what options out of like 6 per slot is like not only going to advance the game state in a way that is like most positive for yourself, but also risks the least. So you could always just click the thing that like potentially gains you the most things, but given that you have information about their team and what you're saying that they led with, and also like calculating what could possibly be in the back, right? Like forcing your opponent into options that they might have or might not have, based on like how skilled you think they are or like what they predicted from you. All of these things adding together to then be like, okay, then I'll choose these options to like risk it the least, right? And so sometimes these decisions are like really hard, and sometimes they're like not too bad, right? And
okay,
yeah. So I guess like to answer your question in like a more concise way, the main difference is I think the pro players are able to do the less obvious thing. Which is be able to choose options that risks them the least, because it's kind of obvious after a little bit of play of like what seems to be like the most obvious move that advances the game state positively for you. For example, oh, I have a guy that can hit their guy super effectively. Let me just click that move, right? Yeah.
So so this is really interesting actually because it reminds me of professional Magic the Gathering play, because I don't want to talk about exactly. I don't want to talk on exactly how the modern format is kind of set up. But back in the day, you didn't really know what your opponent's decks were until the start of the tournament, and then after round one, everybody knew everybody's deck. But you have something called like a sideboard, where in between best of threes, you are allowed to switch out cards from your sideboard into your main deck. And that's sort of the same thing, like, right, you know what your opponent's deck is, you see their sideboard, that's public information, and then from that you can like start exchanging cards and try to like rock paper scissors their deck out of existence. I just feel like Pokemon is like that on crack, because you have like such a smaller base to choose from, right? You only have like so many Pokemons.
That's right. There's only a limited number of Pokemon, but the real degrees of freedom comes in like how you can train them and the movesets, right? So like, so for some mons, they're like pretty like solved, quote unquote. Like everyone sort of like agrees that like these 4 moves, like plus this stat distribution, is like, enough for this guy, and like this mon will be the same sort of, you see him and he's like, oh, this utility guy is going to act the same exact way he does on like every other team or something like that. But like very rarely is that ever the case. Even for utility, not just like offensive mons, you're gonna want to like adjust based on like what, if it is utility, like what sort of weaknesses you have and you want to cover instead. And so like you have 200 something of these stats to like spread out up like of your choice.
Shit.
So like so like for you to like invest each of these stat points in and like being really careful about like all of these things together, like that is also hidden information though. So that is something that has to be like for like the tippy toppity players, I guess, like has to solve live of like, oh, in this matchup, in my experience, when they hit me with this move, I expect to like chunk me for like 30% HP. But in this case, I see that he hit me for like 50 instead. So maybe he's like fully invested in like this, which means he might have less, like slightly less defensive investment. It's basically a lot of like, it's a lot of guesstimating, to be honest.
It's like educated guesses, and then like knowing not exactly, but like knowing the splinter different variants that the opponent might have picked. That's really crazy. That's just a lot of work. Holy shit.
There's
like insanely deep game knowledge that like spreads really far.
That's painful.
Pretty nuts. But I think some fun facts though. So at the tournament, at the LA regionals, there was like around 600 like VGC or like video game players. I did not expect this, but I knew Pokemon cards have always been popular, but not the competitive scene. Just people cracking open packs.
I'm amazed people actually fucking... Do they play?
Yeah,
or they just crack?
So at the tournament...
They play?
So,
what?
Yeah. At the tournament, right, there was 3 tournaments. There was the video game tournament, the card game tournament, and also the Pokemon Go tournament. So Pokemon Go also has a competitive format, which is, first of all, that's fucking wild. That's crazy. Second of all,
that's awesome.
The card game format is the most popular, actually. The card game had 2,000 attendees, whereas the video game only had 600. So that's absolutely
wait. 2,000?
2,000 people, yeah.
Okay, so I know Pokemon cards are valuable because people collect the shit out of them. I don't really know Pokemon players. Like all the game stores I go to, they sell Pokemon cards. But like you look at their their board, it's Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, and like maybe once a month Pokemon. So I'm amazed at 2,000 players. Holy shit!
You're telling me? Yeah.
I don't even know how the game works. Like, I don't
no
know,
one
I don't
knows
know
how
what
the game works.
The fucking energy is. I don't know what the trainer cards are. I got no clue.
No. That shit's crazy.
So from what I hear is like So this is me going to be a card game nerd for a second, but there's like 2 types of ways of making a card game when you release. So you've got like the Magic the Gathering pathway, which they're releasing a lot of cards, but like generally speaking, the cards that get released, there's power creep and all of that stuff. But like it's not too bad, and most of the time the cards are like well within reason. It's rare that you'll have like a card comes out and then you like have to ban it, but it does happen. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh is the opposite, where Yu-Gi-Oh is just like, I don't care. You know, game designers go hog wild. We'll release it into the wild, and then if things go bad, we'll just ban the card and then rework it and then re-release it.
Yeah, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh.
Which is which is a thing that people and I agree with. Kind of, it's called time shifting in Yu-Gi-Oh. If you've ever heard of it,
no.
where like so basically they release a card. So let's say Chaos Emperor Dragon, right? Chaos Emperor Dragon released. It was really, really, really powerful. So they banned the card, and then what they do is they rework what the card does, and they just say, yeah, the rules text on the card isn't what the card does anymore. Here's the updated rules text.
Yo, what the fuck?
That,
But the
It's
card-
cursed.
What?
that sounds like the worst
Yeah.
way of going about it. in
It
my
is the worst
opinion.
way of going about it.
That's really funny you bring up Yu-Gi-Oh because I learned how to play this week. So
Oh yes,
Whoa.
I want to hear your take on that.
yeah.
but-
I don't know if we wanted to get
but
to
basically-
other things first.
Yeah. I just wanted to. Let me just wrap this up real quick.
Sure.
So and then I know Pokemon. 1 second, I have to close the door. Okay, so I know Pokemon actually has this other weird thing that they do, which is they just fucking release cards, and then they sometimes just decide not to ban something even though the community begs them to.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And at one point,
Oh yeah, no, I think that is a very like it. That's not something that like I know about personally because I don't play the Pokemon like card game, but that's something I'm very like that feels like very on brand to me just because like I think that is like Japanese like game design philosophy like 101 where like basically I feel like a lot of the times they feel, at least what it seems to me in their decision making, is that the designers are like never in the wrong, and like if you can't find counterplay to it, like that's too damn bad, that's like your fault, and you should be able to the game should have been, the game is like designed the way the game is designed, and so like if you're not using the optimal thing, like then you're just like shooting yourself in the foot, and that's your
you're
fault.
shot out of luck.
Exactly.
Yeah. So apparently, like, trainers came out and they kind of decimated the format because every deck that didn't have a trainer basically was unplayable.
I see.
And it was really, really bad. And then, like, they were just shifting product after product because everybody, like, if you want to do anything, you have to buy this goddamn thing. It's basically like when Planeswalkers were, like, first introduced.
Gotcha.
And it was bad, and that was a reason why the like Pokemon format kind of fell off for a second because people were basically like doing like a little bit of an internal boycott where like we're not going to buy this until you ban trainers or like rework them in some way or like do something about this, like give us removal. And because the argument I believe was from Nintendo back then, well, the trainers never get hurt in like
in the anime or
the
something, or
game in the
game.
anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what they did was they just made them invincible if you were able to summon them.
That's so funny. And what? That's
My
the
immersion
craziest
is so
way I've
deep.
heard. That's such a crazy way to realize that.
Yeah, they're like, for lore reasons, they can't get hurt. And it's just like, no. Oh, good God.
I mean, that's kind of a fire response. I kind of respect it for some reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the updates have been, but apparently, like, yeah, trainers, like, really split the community. And I even remember being in a game store one time, playing Commander, and, like, the game store owner was going through these, like, boxes upon boxes of Pokemon cards, and he's, like, cracking them open. And they came in these really beautiful, like, metal tins, right? With, like, the Pokemon on top and, like, the set and everything. And he was just like, I am never going to sell these because no one wants to buy this shit. So he was just, like, going around giving these metal tins away for free.
Yo, that's crazy.
Because, like, he just could not move the product because no one was buying.
Jesus.
It was crazy. Yeah. Anyway, that was my little Pokemon tangent,
Hell yeah.
but yeah, so how was learning Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh my god. So I was at my friend's place, and he is really good at explaining things just in general. But he prepared like a couple like base like explainer decks, and basically explaining like card types, and also basically like the base rules and card types and all these things, like kind of nuts all at once. But like lo and behold, like an hour and a half passed, and like he finally finished explaining like the rules and stuff. And then we started like playing and stuff, and it was like fun. I played against like my other friend, and my friend who like invited us over. He created two like pretty balanced like for the time, I guess, decks where like basically it
Do you know who you played?
who I played or what I played.
Yeah, like what was the deck that you
The
played?
deck I played was Warriors, and it was against.
Okay.
It was like a pre-ban 2006-2005 ban list Warriors deck against a later than that ban list Exodia deck.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's pretty
So
fun.
I think Exodia is cool. I wanted to play it, but we we rolled dice for it, and like the other person got it, which is fine. But it was like the harder deck to play for sure. If you aren't aware, Exodia, if you draw all 5 pieces of the cards, all 5 pieces in your hand, you just insta fucking win the game. But
You got the leg of Exodia.
exactly. Exodia, obliterate, and whatnot. Correct.
Yeah.
And I never. First of all, I didn't know obliterate was just so fucking insane in the sense of every time you use obliterate, it draws like a piece of Exodia into your graveyard basically. And also like bounces an opponent's thing back into the hand, but it's basically like a permanent board enchant. Anyway, but from what I understand, the game is just like, from my understanding and from my friend who taught me the game, objectively speaking, it is a bad game. Like it is not a good game.
Yeah. Trevor and I talk about this all the time.
Which sucks to
It's
say
crazy.
out loud, but like it just is what it is, because like I could feel that like the power level of these decks were like only fair because he designed them to be like kind of fair and playable, right? But like a modern game of Yu-Gi-Oh is like turn 1, your opponent generally speaking can't die, because as the first player you don't get to do a draw, like you don't have a draw phase, and also all of the creatures you summon don't get to attack. But by default there is no such thing as summoning sickness. And I believe the median game length of Yu-Gi-Oh is 3 turns, as in player 1
yes.
goes,
God.
player 2 goes,
Yes.
player 1 generally kills player 2. It's
Unless-
crazy.
Yeah. Like literally, if you're player 2 in a Yu-Gi-Oh game, your job is to try to get into the head of player 1 and try to figure out a counterplay in 1 turn.
Yeah, because like I learned all of the rules of like, like this is how you summon like this creature, this is how you summon like a bigger creature, and it's like mentally I was like, this is too slow and fair, and this is not like what I've heard people talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, like I guess like not from my anecdotal experience, like listening to what people say about the game. And like of course it's basically all of like the later mechanics where they're like, oh, instead of these sort of normal type of summoning that's very slow and fair, for context, you basically tribute like n+1 creatures to summon something of like not n level, but you can think about it like that as well. So like you just fuse 2 things together, and then you can like make a bigger guy, and like that guy can like hit your opponent later on or something. Like, okay, this is cool, this is fair, but like your opponent actually has time to react to these things. So naturally, the new mechanics they added in the later like updates, expansions to the game, you get around that completely.
Like there's time summons and like side
Well,
like,
I think
extra
the
deck summons.
The funniest mechanic
Sorry.
I learned, which was which created the greatest exodus of the like competitive player base to date, was what they call like pendulum fusions.
Yes, pendulums. Oh my god, you
Pendulum
put one on
summons.
one side and one on the other,
Yeah,
and then by the
yeah.
time it swings, oh my
Yeah,
lord.
so the mechanics are fucking convoluted, first of all, because pendulum. Second, like not just because pendulum. Second of all, basically, if you fulfill like the requirements of the pendulum summon, it's not just like, oh, you get to cheat out like a bigger guy. It's like you get to cheat out an entire board of bigger guys. Good fucking luck, right?
It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, so
don't.
I think the
thing is,
game
I
is
don't
fun
understand, like,
if you like intentionally make or like play like a lower power format maybe, but like the way it is right now, I have trouble saying that this is like a good game. And stuff.
I don't know how it stays around for so long. Like that's the other thing that's
Nostalgia,
crazy.
that would be my guess.
The memes.
Yeah, the memes are so good, the nostalgia is so good, and like, you know, this is something that's interesting that I also talked about with Trevor, which is like, you know, I think Magic missed out on like not making another piece of like media earlier on related to the card game because it was so much bigger, and like Yu-Gi-Oh just has like so much more staying power because everyone knows the memes. Everyone's like, what the fuck does Pot of Greed do? You know, like even for people who don't play the game or anything, it's like it's just so like ubiquitous in culture, and yeah, I don't know. Like everyone's like, oh, Blue Eyes White Dragon, that's fucking cool, or like Yama Yugi, or fucking even like the New Jersey accent guy, or even like all of the
Jersey
accent Joey.
Guy. Go fuck yourself.
Joey.
How dare you talk about my boy Joey?
I did not. I just said New Jersey accent. I'm not shit talking him. That's hey.
Yeah,
if you
the prejudice
view that as
is
a
on
negative
you
thing,
there, brother.
Yeah,
Like...
exactly. If you view that as a negative thing, that's your prejudice coming out. Okay, first of all,
listen. Ain't nothing good coming out of Discount New York. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Like, there's so many iconic like figures and stuff. Whereas, like, I think at least like obviously there's iconic figures in Magic to people like us who have played the game, but like for like a pop culture, like everyone knows like something like a Magic like character or creature or something. That is something that I've like yet to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I want that. Maybe that's my hipster take.
Yeah, that's probably a hipster take.
Yeah, I like my I like my community of Magic guys. It might be too cursed. I feel like because it's owned by Hasbro now, I would just be worried that Hasbro would be like, oh, we can monetize this even harder.
It's already such a big game. Like, I don't know what you're trying to.
It's the biggest card game. Yeah.
From, you know.
Oh, I mean, like making it more like.
Oh,
unquote,
I see. For normies,
the like super. Yeah.
For normies, he's trying to. I see. Keep the normies.
I'm worried about normies.
Yeah, I think.
I feel like.
Well, I was gonna say, I think the normies fear us more, rightfully so, than we should fear the normies. But I've said my piece.
You should no. If they start tapping on the glass, I think I might lose my mind. Will.
No.
I'm on the inside there. But you know, I feel like Will and I have been yapping. Patrick,
what?
Forgive us.
Well, I'm just chilling, man.
What do you?
Yeah.
What do you?
Do
what do you want to say? What do you have to add? Yeah.
Any news?
Any news? Any silly news?
Unfortunately, not. I did not. Didn't look into it.
That's okay, bro.
But I did have a question for you guys. Because this thought pops into my head kind of frequently. And we are about to head to Texas.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Where barbecue exists, right?
Uh-huh.
So-called some of the best barbecue available.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Drew just sent me a message going, "You bring in the Switch because I want a birria."
Nice. Perfect. Yes.
Sorry. Continue.
There's interest. Yeah, the answer is yes. But like, so I wanted to ask because you know, I've had a barbecue sauce that I think is the greatest barbecue sauce of all time.
Sauce. Okay.
Yeah, my dad made it. This was like in like 2015 or something like that. And it's like one of these like mustardy vinegar-based barbecue sauces.
Your beautiful dad,
right? Yeah, he's a beauty. He's wonderful. But I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think the best sauce that you've ever had is, and what was it? And do you think you'll ever be able to replicate that best sauce?
Oh my god.
I think I think I have. I know what it is, and I think I have been able to replicate.
Something comes to the top of my mind instantly, but I am shameful to think that.
Okay, you have to tell
Okay,
first.
well,
now I need
have
to know.
I feel extremely great shame, but I have no idea why it's this fucking correct. Okay, so for all the SoCal girlies, if you're in Pasadena/Arcadia area, if you don't know, there is this place that claims to have invented the idea of the breakfast burrito. Okay, but like regardless if that is true or not, their breakfast burrito fucking slaps. Okay, it is massive. It is affordable. It is.
Let's go.
It will clog your arteries. It clogs your arteries at like world record pace. Okay? it's like the best you could fucking ask for. I don't know how else to describe this in like a less I don't know. It's just amazing. Okay,
it's one of those things where you break your fast and then you are fasting again because you're in bed.
Exactly. I am broken, actually. No part of me is fast. Fully broken. Yeah. Okay, so given that this is like what I'm claiming to be the best place ever or not, why the fuck am I talking about a breakfast burrito when we're talking about sauces? Well, they have this ranch sauce that they sell, and you might be asking, why the fuck are you talking about ranch? Let me be clear here. I fucking hate ranch. Normally speaking,
Will is entering his white girl era. I'm so excited.
For real. Like ranch, as in like like Hidden Valley.
I agree with you. I fucking hate that shit. Yeah.
Get that shit out of my face. No, for real.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
That
I
shit's
hate
disgusting.
ranch.
But for
Ranch
some
is gross.
fucking reason, like the taste, the viscosity. Like, something about it just makes it fucking different and hits so hard when you're eating it with a burrito, okay? People out there, you have to know what I'm talking about. I am pleading. This is not a request. I am simply pleading, okay? It goes so hard. I have nothing else to say. But yes, that is the top sauce that comes to my mind. I wish I could say something else, but that is... my heart knows this is true.
Hey, it is what it is, man. No shame in that. No shame in that. Yeah.
So, my sauces when I was in Riverside, there's this Korean place where they made pork belly, and they made this sauce that was so fucking good, which was like done with like crushed chili, crushed like the fried chili flakes. You know what I'm talking about, like with peanuts and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And it was like hoisin sauce, and also like there was definitely some like oyster sauce in there and ketchup and all that shit, and it was so fucking good, and it tasted so good. It wasn't like, it was spicy, but it wasn't like I'm gonna kill your mouth spicy. It was just perfect. Nice. And and it I needed it so bad, and the problem is I forgot the name of the restaurant, and it's been so long. Fuck. And when I asked my friends, they're like, I do not remember where we went, but I do remember the sauce. So then I went on a mission for about 6 years in my kitchen buying Costco pork belly strips.
Oh my god.
And I'm trying to recreate it, and I think I got really, really close. It's so fucking good though. Like next time I'll make pork belly with the sauce, I'll bring it for you guys. It's like really, it's like a little bit spicy, but it's mainly like this really good savory. Oh, it's so fucking good. Nice. But yeah, that's my sauce.
Hell yeah, brother.
Very good.
So are we doing barbecue? Yeah, I think he said his dad, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, my dad made it.
That's the best though. I thought you were referencing that as like a good sauce you had and not the best. That's
No, that is just the best one. Yeah, he made it really spicy with like habaneros and stuff, and it was perfect. Yeah, it might also be a little bit of a bias just because like there is the family effect, but also we smoked a pork shoulder together that barbecue day too. So I was like up,
and that was
from
the first time he looked Patrick in the eye and he said, "I love you, son."
Goddamn. Man, that's so touching. And then I'm over here saying fucking ranch for my answer.
And then he gave him like a spoonful of the sauce, and he's like, "Go for it."
Go forth
spoonful
and
of the
smoke.
Sauce is what I need. Hell yeah.
Go forth and make more barbecue, son.
Oh god.
Patrick's like, can I get the recipe for this? He's like, no, shut the fuck up. That's my sauce. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's one of those recipes that he just kind of like, just like top domed it. He was like, "This is what's supposed to go in here, right?" And then it just is like perfect. And he's like, "Yeah, I didn't write it down though." And I was like, "Okay."
God damn it. Why is
That's
it
some
always,
dad shit,
Why is
though.
it always like this?
I know it is some dad shit.
God damn it.
We went like there was this really impromptu barbecue at my friend's house on, I want to say it was on Monday. It was either Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember now. And no, it was definitely Monday. So we go to this impromptu barbecue, and I bring Zelda and everybody, and my friend brings his giant grill, but he didn't feel like starting the grill, so he left me and my other friend to do it.
Oh yeah,
And I am no grill master. I don't fucking know how this works.
it's
But,
it's just fire. You just make the fire do the thing.
Well,
So true, King.
you say this as I set the coals ablaze, and then I put them in the little like chute, and I set it on fire, and I got the fire going. I got them nice white hot,
Yeah,
and
good.
I dumped them to the bottom,
Yep, that's that good shit.
and then I put the hot dogs on, and then like I come back, and there just aren't enough coals for the entirety of the grill surface. So I go to the guy who owns the grill, and I was like, "Hey, brother, like, do I do this again?" He's like, "No, just put the coals on either side of the middle, and they'll catch the fire by osmosis, basically." And I'm like,
Catch
"All
the
right."
fire.
You know what I mean? Like, like the fire will spread from the center out. That was according to him. So I do this, and and we put like meat on either side, and it's just not heating up. So we just had this raw chicken breast that was on one side of the grill
Fire.
for probably 40 minutes. That was it was just slightly above room temp.
That's beautiful.
But I got smoked really deeply by the coals below. And eventually I was like, okay, this is not working. So I basically re-kilned the other two sides, and I got them nice and hot, and then we finished the chicken. And that shit came out bomb.
Oh,
It
yeah.
had like a really good smoky flavor because it got smoked for basically an hour.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I don't know how to grill, and I smelled like a campfire for days. It was really bad.
No, that's the good stuff, man.
That is one
Smell
thing
like a
I'm
campfire.
excited for, though. Like, just grilling
Yeah,
and
barbecue.
barbecuing shit out there. I have yet to, like, actually go out and try any of this. Like, every place in the Midwest claims that their barbecue is the fucking best, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, I need to try it already and, like, know what the fuck these people are talking about.
Isn't Texas like the home of this shit, supposedly?
Is it? I mean,
I don't-
That's the thing. I have no idea. Everywhere else in the Midwest also says, like, Kansas and shit. I don't know. Everyone says
Yeah.
it was the best.
I'm not sure about the history of it, but yeah, I mean, every kind of like region has their own independent kind of like way they like to do it, and they all think they're the best. So
This is a small bit of, like, American culture. I think I need to know this.
it is. It's like one of the two things that we do. It's
Hell
like-
yeah. And guns.
yeah, it's smoking meat and gun.
Oh man, this trip's gonna be crazy. I'm getting a tattoo done on Monday.
Wait, it's on Monday?
Oh, yeah, it's on Monday at 6 p.m.
Oh, I thought it was on Thursday. You said it was Thursday.
Fire.
No, I asked when the party was, and you told me Thursday is the
Oh.
party day.
Yeah, usually that's
So I
what
decided
happens.
not to do it on Thursday.
I see.
So we have to record on Wednesday, I guess.
I see.
Yeah,
Next
I
week.
gotta
was
I gotta
gonna
get
Yeah,
I gotta get the poster printed on Monday. So
and then, so Tuesday I actually need to find a quiet spot at 8 p.m. because I'm playing I'm playing, not D&D. I'm playing Cyberpunk Red with my friends, which is like the tabletop version of Cyberpunk.
Oh, cool.
And I went ahead and made my so let me just set the scene for a second. All of my friends choose their characters, and I'm kind of like class agnostic. Whenever I play any tabletop game, I do not care what class I end up playing. And they're like, "Hey, Hassan, the last class that's available is the Netrunner. Will you be our Netrunner?" And I said yes.
Uh-oh.
I think for the first time I should have not been class agnostic because the Netrunner is so fucking complicated. It is insane.
Hell
Okay? So the Netrunner is basically the hacker of the group. So naively, you would be like, oh, okay, they're going to have like a high int, right? Like they're going to be high int. They're going to do like a bunch of hacking stuff. That's what I thought naively. That's what everybody thought naively. No, that's not how this game works. And it's kind of cool, actually. The system's really cool. So the developers were like, well, we don't just want to have a class. We don't want to have any class who has a dump stat that's like their main, not that, well, not dump stat, like they're like, you know, half perfect stat. Like they don't want you to, they don't have like a class that's like, this is a brawler, so all you can do is like shove everything into brawling and then you're good. So what actually happens is that you have to, like, you know, there'll be skills you want to prioritize and skills you can dump, but like it's not like in D&D or other games where you can just kind of do that and you'll be like fine. So like if you're playing Warlock, you'll be in Charisma and all of that stuff. No. So like if you're playing a brawler and you have low intelligence, you might be really good at fighting, but like if the battle becomes more complicated, like the other guy can like read your moves, and if your int isn't high enough, you can't like he'll just be able to start dodging your attacks more effectively. So if you don't have like, if you're like, oh, I'm just gonna be a dumb meathead, like you will literally get out like flanked really quickly in the game because somebody's just gonna analyze your moves and then start dodging you and kill you.
Damn.
So the problem with the Netrunner is like, yeah, all of them are like skill agnostic. You can play any flavor of Netrunner you want because you basically, the thing that makes a Netrunner unique is that you have something called a cyber deck, and then you infuse a computer into your spinal cord.
What the hell?
And then you can just like engage with hacking, and your body just becomes a vessel to like hack better. But then when you're not in the hack space, you still have to be able to fight and do all of these things.
Space.
Yeah, it's called, well, what it's actually called is like,
it's
called, yeah, I mean it's called cyberspace and meat space.
Meat space.
Yeah, it's actually kind of sick. Yeah, it's
is
meat
funny
space.
as hell.
Yeah.
That's where I was just before this call. Holy shit.
So I was just like balancing my stats and everything, and then finally today I wrapped up the character. I was like, okay, I kind of like this. I want my character to be like a ninja type, but like really smart, so like a lot of stealth moves. So like what I did was I gave him a high int. He has a high int, pretty decent reflexes, really high dexterity, like really good at, like good enough at like repairing electronics, and then pretty good at charisma because we needed like a charisma character. Like really good at fighting, and then not fighting, like willpower and all of these things. Ultimately, the character's build is like he has a like a hand axe, and if you're in melee, he will just absolutely fucking delete you. And he's pretty good at dodging things. The problem was I didn't know how one of the mechanics worked, and I already gave in my character sheet. So remember how I said you infuse your body with a computer?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really important because there's a stat called empathy. And when I hovered over it, it just said, empathy is how you relate to other people. And it helps you keep yourself grounded.
That sounds like what
And then
that
it
is,
said,
you know?
and it's like, you can read more details here. And I'm like, oh, I mean, like, this seems interesting if you're like maybe a medic, you know, that might help you with like your identification and stuff. I didn't really think about it too much. Turns out that the more computers you incorporate into your body, the more you lose your fucking mind, and you start thinking that other people who don't have as many computers as you, or like who hasn't advanced their body as you, are just like things that you don't give a shit about. It's like shooting a deer. Like you stop caring. You literally become a sociopath.
Fire.
And
Fire. Yeah. No, that's...
yeah. So I submitted my sheet, and then like the DM who's running was like, so are you trying to be like a psychopath? And I was just like, why? And he's like, well, you know, you didn't bump up your empathy, and you're playing the computer guy. You're gonna have like a lot of augments. And I was like, yeah, I mean, like, I thought that's fine. And he's like, well, No, your empathy score. I know you you had it here as a 5 out of a 10. Because of the like massive amount of computer systems that are in your spinal cord, you're actually sitting at a 3.
Oh, good.
If I go to a 2, I will stop. Like basically, I'll have a severe split personality disorder, and like other things like that. And then if you go into a 1, you literally like the book tells you roleplay as if human beings are the same level as a cockroach to you.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so nothing's changed. Got it.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you guys want to laugh? Because you can raise your empathy back up to 5 after you get one of these surgeries. You have to go to therapy. Like literally your character, you have to pay 1,000 gold, and then you go to therapy for like a week.
Is great.
Yeah.
Damn.
So like you're
Still no healthcare in the future, dude. That's crazy.
well, it's actually it's cyberpunk, so it's actually their euro dollars, and everything is a capitalist hellscape in the game.
Wait, you mean
But,
them
like-
Europeans took over in the future?
No shot.
Oh,
So,
no.
America
actually,
wins these things. Take it back. Take it back.
So actually, the setting of Cyberpunk is really funny because 9/11 doesn't happen the way it does in our universe. How do you think it happens?
Oh
my
in
God.
Cyberpunk?
Hog?
What an insane place to
9/11
start.
doesn't happen? Fucking.
Well, it does happen. It just
That's not
I think
what
it's like the
heard.
Colombians
That is not
that
what
did
I
it.
heard, and I'm
In the-
choosing
in the
to
ga-
not hear it.
But no, so let me give you guys a rundown of my character because I thought it was really fun. So in the cyberpunk world, after World War II, basically the Arab and the Middle East states refused to trade with the Americas on oil, and the United States responds by glassing the entire region and nuking them out of existence.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, and then taking over the fields.
I love
And
being good guys.
America just becomes more and more right wing and libertarian, and eventually it gets taken over completely by these massive corporations. And the biggest American corporation is called Military Tech, or just Miltech. And the biggest Japanese corporation, no, you're good, is called Arasaka. And then these two, yeah, I know. And then these two companies go to war.
What do they do?
And
Invent
they just
conscious AI or something?
Actually, yes, that's the fucked up part. I know it's inside joke with an inside joke.
Time
but
is a flat
literally
circle, truly.
Yeah. So these two companies then go to war because they have so many military assets that they nuke each other. And then basically Night City is the city where this game takes place in. It's like San Francisco, but a lot of the states in the Americas said that because of what happened, they believe the United States government isn't fit to rule them anymore. So a lot of them have like independent city states that like are separate from the government. And Night City is like the biggest, and it has it's just run by corporations, and it's a fucking nightmare place. But
Love
long story short, my character he's from the Middle East, and what he did was he hacked his way into a submarine to change the logs that says that he was allowed to be on there, and then that's how he got into the continental United States. And he then decided to become a proper netrunner by getting the upgrades, and now he's just a fucking psychopath that doesn't mind killing people.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah, our first job is to effectively extort a bar. It'll be good.
Hell yeah, brother. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, so I just need to find a room to do this in on like Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Yeah, I don't
Right, we're
know.
2 hours ahead of California time.
I don't know how we're gonna be able to find privacy, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll figure something out. I might just do it in a car.
Yeah, because like I canceled therapy for the week, but I think it'd be nice to have it still. But I don't know.
I also had to do that, so we're in the same boat. My therapy is D&D right now.
Awesome. That's fucking fire.
I can pay €1,000, Will, and then my then my brain goes back to
Dude,
normal.
hell yeah. Wait, okay. This is kind of a tangent, but this is
Go for
kind of related in a sense. But so recently, I started using ChatGPT just for work, and it's actually kind of interesting. It obviously doesn't get everything right, like all the things right, but it's actually kind of impressive, like what amount of things it does get right. Anyway. A really funny thing is like people have been joking about like using ChatGPT for like therapy and
Oh no.
Oh God.
it's I haven't, but I think it is just such a funny idea to imagine a world where like that is like that's like actually how we're doing things. I don't know.
I saw a
would
screenshot
be
of that
psychotic.
Google AI, right? Somebody Googled like smoking while pregnant, and
Oh,
the
God.
Google AI spit back, "You should have 2 to 3 cigarettes a day while pregnant."
Huh.
So
Thanks, Google.
so yeah,
Awesome.
I think it's got some work to do.
No, I think it's doing
Yeah,
pretty
thank-
well. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's recommending what doctors recommended, like, in the 30s, so it's rapidly advancing.
So it's
I
correct.
guess that's true.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Pride is upon us, boys. It is time.
Dude, Pog, we're allowed to exist.
Rainbow.
Hell
Hell yeah,
rainbow.
brother. And instead of doing that, we decided to fly out to Texas.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, that's not where Pride is? Wait. Oops. Wait.
Oops.
Wait. Did I get the wrong location? Fuck. Oh God.
I like how I woke up to this. My friend wrote in a group chat, "Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's ready for today. It is the start of Pride Month." And I put the bye in bitch.
Oh my God. Wait. I don't think this is gonna be super. What is it? Make that much sense over. Over a podcast format, but I saw the funniest fucking thing. Okay, so
I also have one of the funniest things. Please
previous
continue.
Month, was what is it? Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Yeah, yeah.
I just posted it in the group chat.
I'm also gonna post something in the group chat, and I want you guys to watch it simultaneously. Oh my God! Let me see what this is. I'm so ready for the cursed. Show me.
I'm
Play.
fucking dying still.
Oh, why is it not playing? Well, it's on TikTok. That's why.
Yo, what the fuck?
Why is this so hard to watch? I just want to watch it on my TikTok. Oh my lord!
It's loading.
Isn't it so good?
That's so good.
What? I have to do a fucking captcha.
Don't. It's okay. Don't worry.
I did it.
It's
I did it. I
okay,
did it.
okay.
It's loading. Oh my. Alright, I have something I want to send you guys. Hold on, I'm gonna post it in the chat too. So just talking about cursed clips. I want you guys to watch this at the same time, please.
Okay.
Really, the
Oh,
first
God.
like 10 seconds is all that matters.
Oh God.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Let me know
I'm
when
loading.
you have the video in position.
Sec.
Okay, I have the
Like,
video in
just the
position.
first like 10-20 seconds, yeah.
Alright, I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh fuck!
no.
Not a fucking jump scare.
Oh god.
Dude, was that his first cameo in the show?
Oh my god.
I don't think I can't remember if it's his first cameo, but it's his first ever written written words and like said
Damn.
words, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's so
I know he's-
fucking funny.
I know he's been like the consultant for them for a while, so It's
He's been
kind
the
of
consultant since The Big Bang Theory.
yeah. So that's crazy.
He loves that show, dude. He loves The
My
Big
favorite
Bang
joke
Theory.
is that the Higgs boson would have been discovered 10 years earlier if he just wasn't on set as often as he was.
Yes. Salzburg just did focus on his job.
Oh god.
Hey man, you like what you like, you know?
Yeah, why does liking what I like come down to fucking young Sheldon though, huh?
Yeah. So I'm friends with his grad student, right? And then his grad student walked up to him and she's like, "So did you practice for this?" And he's like, "Oh, I practiced hours. I spent so many hours repeating those lines and walking up."
Dude, no, he just does it different, you know? Like that's what I've learned.
Will, were you there? I think this was, I can't remember if you were there or not, but were you there during one of the TA awards when they started to play the Big Bang Theory theme song?
Oh god.
And then he was dancing and singing along to it?
Dude, my guy like needs help, but I don't know where to start though. That's the real question. Holy shit.
It's so cursed. I love it.
We do live in the funniest timeline, right? Like
We do. We do.
oh, that's crazy.
All right.
right.
It's like 10:40. I think I must
I
sleep.
am tired.
Yeah, I need a fucking pack.
Yeah,
Oh,
pack.
damn.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It'll be fine. I mean, it's just a week of class.
I mean, I
so-
packed really quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Good night.
guys.